Hi, I'm Sifu Graham.
I'm Nicole.
And we're over here at Drasana Martial Arts, and we're going to talk today about the bridging skill of rolling. Rolling, like coiling and threading, which you can look at some of our other videos, it also transitions into what we call a manipulation skill. Well, now we're working on unbalancing somebody or sort of undoing somebody's structure. But looking at it as a bridging skill, what it's like we've got a sphere, both sort of in the circle of our arms and all around us, sort of like we're in a big bubble. And any force, any limb that's attacking, any part of the body coming into this sphere, we're going to roll it off. So, for example, if we're just going to start here as an example, when a cross grip comes in, I could simply roll it up. As it comes in, I could roll it down. So, like a circle, I'm going to use the skill circle here. If I'm turning on the axis of the circle, the moment her force comes in, the circle turns and just has her force roll right off. As long as it maintains its circularity, the structure of the circle has that ability. Now, if I want her to go up, the circle's going to have to change what dimension it's on, or what axis it's on. And if I want it to go down, it's going to have to change this way. And it can go all the way around all of the different planes. And when you have a circle going in every different plane, every possible angle, you have an orb. Like a ball. And the same concept on the ball. As force comes in, I'm just going to roll it off. I'm going to roll it down, or up, or to the outside, to the inside, and every different type of angle that you can think of. And so when we're rolling, we're really just moving our arms and any other part of our body that has contact, like a ball. So it doesn't have to be a big circle including the whole arm or the whole body. It can be a small circle. You can imagine just sort of like a ring around my arm. And as soon as there's pressure coming into my arm, I roll. Simple as that. And all I'm trying to do is make it so that her pressure is not aimed right at my center. As soon as her pressure is able to sort of anchor on my center, feel where my center is, and push into it, go ahead. Even if I have structure, now I have to fight that. I may be able to root it to the ground and to neutralize or stop her force from being able to continue. But that only succeeds in me not being moved. It hasn't affected her yet. So in essence, it's yang, pure yang. It's good yang. It has good strong structure. She's pushing, she's pushing, she's pushing, she's pushing. We push with both hands. And she's pushing, and nothing's happening. But as soon as I turn, there goes her force. Right? And so her force is just going to move off, move away from my center. You can kind of imagine it if I took that ball, put it in a pool, and I was trying to get up on top of the ball and bounce on it. I would keep slipping off. And I don't know if when you were a kid, when I was a kid, I would try to get up on the ball and push it underneath so I could sit on the ball and float on it in the pool. But it would take me 10 minutes because every time I got up on the ball, it would come out this way, come out that way. And then the embarrassing one is when it comes out and hits you in the face. You hope nobody was watching. So that's what we're doing. And we're not just going to roll to where I'm pushing her away or I'm yielding and just letting her roll around. I also want to roll so that not only does her force go away from me, but my force comes back around to her. We'll go back to our circle. So if you take 2 points on the circle, and she's pushing on 1 point, and let's say where my hand is the second point. As she pushes, that second point is the force rolling into her. Now actually, the entire time the ball is rolling, each part of it is getting her force further off of me and pushing onto her arm, so it sticks and rolls, almost like a gear. It's almost like catching and drawing her along all the way. Or it's going to roll around and just press if we wanted to. But of course, we never want to push into where the person is solid and strong. We always want to move into a place where their structure is weak. And as soon as we run into force that's strong, we're going to change so that the force is weak, and then we can continue to roll into that direction. So let's take a look at a couple of ways to use this in bridging. So we can start here, and we're just doing some coiling arms. And let's say Nicole's giving me a pressure, and she's looking to come around, actually like kind of come around and trap me this way. Go ahead. And not quite what I mean here, I'll show you. Okay. So if I was trying to come around sort of this way and get you that way, we're going to take a look at what rolling can do there. So go ahead. So I'm just going to roll, and even this force that she's pushing, she wants to get me like this. She's trying to unbalance me by taking my arm across my body. Go ahead. I can roll off of both points of force and actually come closer into her. Clear that out of the way, and now help her go that way. There are other places where rolling makes sense. If you've just got contact here and pressure's coming in, you just roll like that, and then you're right on top. Same thing, it can be used to get you from the outside to the inside. Pressure's here, I roll, and I'm on the inside. So it's sort of just flipping around the top of the circle. She's coming in with like a bear paw, and I can just roll that up. Roll her out of the way. If she's coming in with something low, I can roll down, literally like as if I'm the front of the ball. She's coming in, I roll her down. This is just to show rolling. Maybe I just do it to one side. Just to move into a place where then I can get into a better position. Let's take a look at rolling and switching. So she's pushing in, I roll this way, I can come under to pass or clean that out of the way, keep this check. I feel her pushing actually back against my arm, so I'm going to roll. Just that little motion here, turning the arm to roll her force down. Now I feel it pushing back up, so I'm going to roll it up. Roll it up. So rolling is going to always keep her force off of me so that I continue to move in without having to deal with her force moving my center. Now I can also roll around, moving my body into a different position, sort of like what I did with the example a moment ago. So here's the circle. And instead of staying here in the axis and turning, where I move her off, maybe for whatever reason this just feels too strong, or maybe I want to move into another position, I'm going to roll around, literally moving my whole body around. So she comes in, right, and this can be the beginning of some manipulations. For instance, we're here, force comes in, roll here, catching the elbow. I can continue the turn of my body, sling her out, or turn it to a throw. The point is instead of holding my ground and rolling her off in a direction that will allow me to come in different ways, I'm going to roll on her. She comes in. I'm going to roll on her. Or let's take another example where I don't spin all the way around. Go ahead. I'm going to roll here. She changes, pushes into my stomach. I'm going to roll here. I just rolled my body, rolled with this arm, and help her along. So that in essence is rolling. And it can go in as many different directions as there are possible. Now, of course, we can also roll with the body. If there's pressure in the body, I can just treat my torso like the surface of the ball. If I hold my ground and I don't roll, I don't turn, then her pressure is going to push in, collapse my structure, take my center, cause me to have to move. But if I want to maintain control over my movement, as she pushes in, if I turn right away, her pressure just slips off. Now, for a moment, just try to get my center and push on it. Go ahead. So as I turn, I'm not only turning to make her force fall off, I'm also turning into the parts of her palm that are less heavy, less strong, less substantial, where she's not concentrating her force yet. And then when she does, pushing back at me, I turn again. So the way you do it with your arms, the way you do it with your body, it's the same. Let's go ahead and just do a little bit of push hands. So here I'm rolling, 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 rolling here where she's trying to come and get me, where she's trying to get to me. And I'm just rolling like the surface of the ball. Right now, as her force comes in, I'm just turning so she's neutralized, meaning, well, not really so she's neutralized, but so she just sort of falls into emptiness. Neutralized meaning the force doesn't hit me, rather than neutralized meaning that I let the force conduct through my structure to the ground. I'm not even doing that, because I'm not letting her force get into me. If I was doing that, I would just hold the structure of the ball. She pushes, sink down, and this is neutralization. So the other one was having her fall into emptiness. So as you can see, rolling is a close cousin to coiling. Because as I roll, I can then start moving into coiling and wrapping. Right? I can coil. In a way, as I roll my arm, it's the beginning to coil. And of course, if I then start rolling into her as her force moves, I can then expand that force into her. So that's rolling. A drill you can practice, just a basic one, is just hold this position, have your friend put their hand on your wrist and elbow, make sure your elbows are down, you have good structure, and as they push, you roll. Meaning, you basically hold the structure of your arm, you sink, and you feel their pressure, and you turn. That's it. Careful not to go too far offset. Go ahead. And you just practice rolling their force up, roll their force down, to the right, to the left. And then you can start rolling in different directions, including the twisting of your hand as part of the rolling. And redirect their force in different ways. And then just try to have your friend push you as you just continue to roll. And you can make the circle as small as the surface of your torso, or you can have it out here very big. So the point is not to hold the structure per se, but to hold the idea that there's like a field around you shaped like an orb, and your arm is simply acting as part of that field, but that field can grow and it can shrink according to their energy. Not that when a push them with a big strong arm, and not that we're going to collapse and let them come into our body. That's just all part of guiding them. So when you're rolling, make sure your roll is soft. As they push, you're kind of following their force and then helping it to roll around you. Meaning, she pushes, not going, and then rolling like a stone wheel, just trying to push her out to the side. There's an amount of change according to where their force is going. And that's how I get into, didn't want that, these manipulations. All right, so Nicole, why don't you do the drill for a moment? We'll start with simple. I'll push and you roll to one side. Good. Roll to the other. Good. Now carefully you don't go too far so that your structure doesn't shift too much out of center. You want to keep your center and roll me, yeah, like that. So where I feel like if I stay stuck here and I try to maintain pressure, I'm going to fall over. Roll me up. Good. Make sure you sink under that. Yep. Roll me down. Good. That was good. Lost my balance on that one. And now just wherever you want to go, as I kind of try to come back against the ball. Every time you feel pressure, just roll it off to another side. That's it. Gonna get you. Gonna get you. Gonna get you. Make sure your body turns too, and you sink and you soften. Whoop. Center, yep. So sink and turn more, and you can roll this all the way around. You take it all the way around like that. Yeah. If I stay stuck to that, so the ball doesn't just have to stay in front of you. The circle can go all the way around you. I was going to go get the ball, but it's not big enough to make the point, anyways. So, yeah. If I'm stuck to that, that's fine. But if you feel me come back with my pressure, like you feel my energy come back, don't keep trying to turn, because you're waiting to feel that come back around and make sure that you can divert it off of center again. Good work. All right, guys, that's rolling. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.